Hello, church, and welcome to another edition of our Faith Journeys series. Today, we are excited to welcome our Children's Education Director, Tracy Reed. Tracy, welcome to our little show here.
Thank you very much.
Now, we're going to take a moment to talk a little bit about your own faith, and then at the end, we're going to do a couple exciting plugs to talk about, but we'll get to that later. So I know that you have grown up in this area, not too far from Swartz Creek, but I want to like you to share with us a little bit about how growing up your faith was. What experiences did you have that affected your faith in that process?
Okay. Well, when I was growing up, I went to the Lutheran church.
Okay.
A couple different Lutheran churches.
Uh-huh.
My parents made sure that we knew that God loved us.
Mm-hmm.
One of my sisters, was burnt as a child severely.
Oh.
And so she had a lot of medical issues in and out of the hospital. So we weren't regular church goers.
Okay.
So a lot of times I went with neighborhood people, my grandparents, things like that.
Uh-huh.
So I truly don't feel like I was saved and started my personal journey with Christ until I was about 16.
Okay.
I met my boyfriend, now
Uh-huh.
my husband,
Right.
Jim Reed, and I started going to youth group with him.
Uh-huh.
And he went to Hope United Methodist.
Okay.
And the youth group leader, her name was Stephanie, and I can still see her face in my mind. She was on fire for the Lord.
All right. Great.
I wanted that.
Yeah.
I could feel it,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted that.
Uh-huh.
So I made sure I made going to youth group a priority.
All right.
And then I started going to church
Uh-huh.
with Jim and his family, too.
Uh-huh.
And I never turned back. I became a member a few years later.
All right.
And Jim and I were married in that church, and
Uh-huh.
our children were baptized in that church.
Right.
And I met this wonderful lady named Mary Ann Cordy there.
Okay.
She took me under her wing, and she introduced me to children's ministry,
All right.
and just had me join the board for that, the Children's Education Board, and got me involved in all the different activities and teaching Sunday school, and like I said, took me under her wing, and I kind of took over that position from her. I became chairperson of the Christian Education Board there.
Okay.
And and I met some wonderful ladies there that really helped me on my faith journey there. Carol Snyder, and a woman I think you all know, Arlene Lanning.
Yes, I know her.
So she, too, I could tell those women had a great relationship with Jesus, and I could feel it, and I wanted to be around them and learn from them.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm thankful that you and Jim have been active in our church for a while now. I've had a great opportunity to work with both Andrew and Melanie in our youth group, as well as you and Jim as leaders in our youth group, going on mission trips and such. And so that's been a blessing. I've gotten to know you very well, and I'm thankful for that. And so I know it's been a few years now that you've been on our staff. What year did you start as the education director here?
I think it was 3 years ago.
Okay, so in these 3 years, how has being in that position added to your faith journey?
Well, just being in Christian Ed is just added to my faith journey. Again, there's been so many women here that have helped me in my walk. Hope Moreland got me involved in Christian Ed here.
Yeah. Hope is awesome.
Yes, she is awesome. Sue Goff was the first person I taught Sunday school with. She was awesome, too.
Yes.
And working with Madonna. And
I like her.
Yes. And Shelly Niles in youth group. And a bunch of awesome other women. I just have learned from them. And then when I took on the position of Christian Ed director here, I think it just helped me become closer to the Lord, just listening better for Him, His voice and His direction, because I knew that I needed His help. This was a big job, and just taking care of these children and trying something new. When we developed Faithville, that was a big undertaking.
Yes, it was.
It was really important to me. I've had this vision for years, and it just kept on, his voice just kept on going at me. And so I started talking to Dr. G about it and Pastor Aaron about it, and they were just super supportive, and you and Madonna too.
Right.
And at the whole church. And so I think, like I said, it just has made me more aware of God's guidance for me and God's voice, and to just turn to Him every day and listen to Him and pray to Him for direction.
Okay, fantastic. Well, let me just add that it is my opinion that your work in creating Faithful and building it up has been fantastic. And I really mean that. Eli is excited about Faithful. He talks about it and asks when we get this started. I had some other folks, even tonight at the Bible study, a couple of the ladies I overheard, like, so we saw that Faithful's about to open up again, and we're excited about that. So
Great.
It's really done a wonderful thing for the church, and you've done a wonderful job of leading it. And I know that the church is very grateful for your work. So I want to think about this here going forward, with Faithville. I would sometimes refer to you as the mayor of Faithville. What do you see God continuing to do through Faithville in the lives of the children as well as the adults who are a part of it?
Well, that's a great question. I do want to do a shout out to Kim Grant. She is my right-hand woman. There would be no Faithville without Kim Grant.
Yep, yeah, no doubt.
She is awesome.
Yes,
and my
is.
husband, Jim Reed.
Yep, no doubt.
But I don't know. As we talk about children's ministry moving on past this shutdown, it's going to be new. It's, we've had a shutdown of over a year now, and I'm excited to get the kids back in Faithville. But there's also kids that aren't ready to come back. And we have, during the shutdown, we have reached out to the children and stayed connected. God had put that on my heart, that was really important. So we had the weekly video lessons, and we had the bi-monthly home packages delivered to them. And I think for the kids that aren't ready to come back, we still need to keep that connection with them, and that's really important. So we've got to, that's going to be some work to minister to the kids that come back, and to keep that ministry going with the kids that aren't ready to come back, the families that just aren't ready. So that's something that I'm going to be praying about, and going to be taking the guidance from the Lord, on what to do. But I'm excited. I am super pumped. I miss the kids. I miss doing all the activities. So April 18th is the day, and 11 o'clock service, and we need to sign up through Sign Up Genius, so we know who's coming, so we know which room to go to. But I am super excited.
Yes, and I know that a lot of people are excited about that. So that the April 18th, that was announcement number one that we needed to make.
Yes.
And that's at the 11 o'clock service, you said,
Correct.
right? So and is the Sign Up Genius, is that process on our website for people to go to sign up on?
Yes, it was emailed out today, and with the link, it'll be on the website. I'll post it on the Facebook page.
Okay.
And if you need it, and you can't get to it those places, contact me or the office, and we will get you the link, because it is a separate link than the worship service.
Right.
So.
Yep. Okay. All right, so I wanted to make sure people knew that.
Yes.
Now, the other announcement that we have that we want to make sure people are aware of is we have a fun thing going on Saturday. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I'm super excited about that, too. We have our Easter Extravaganza. As you know, they have a long history of an Easter fair here, decades.
Right.
And that's exactly what brought us to this church, is the Easter fair. We came a few times with our children, and we were still attending Hope. But then when we moved to the Swartz Creek District, and we were looking for a church, that our kids would be going to youth group and church with their friends. We remembered back to the Easter Fair.
Okay.
And how friendly a church this was.
Great.
So, unfortunately, the Easter Fair was canceled last year,
Right.
but this year we wanted to do something. If we couldn't do our spectacular one inside, we were going to do something outside.
Right.
So we're having our Easter Extravaganza this Saturday from 2 to 4. It's a drive-through event. So everybody's going to stay in their cars. The participants are going to stay in their cars. They're going to drive through. And we have volunteers going to be stationed throughout the outside of the church, and they'll be giving away Easter eggs and crowns, and there'll be hand tattoos, and the balloon guy will be here.
Okay.
And there'll be a chance for 20 participants to win big Easter baskets.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, do you still need more volunteers for that?
I am set for volunteers.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
So what we really need is for those who are watching, bring your kids or grandkids through the Easter Fair. And Tracy's going to be there. I'm going to be there. I am not doing the balloon guy. That is not me. That would be bad news all the way. But we're excited about that event. We're really excited that Faithful is going to go up. And I am really thankful that you came to share with us today. And like I said, I think you've done a wonderful job. And especially during the COVID time, you've really worked hard to think creatively and do a lot of good things through ministry. So I'm very appreciative, Tracy. I think you're a fantastic leader of this church and a fantastic friend, too.
Thank you very much. I do want to say one more thing. I just want to say thank you to everyone that supports me and Christian Education for the Children. We need you. We need your continued support. And just remember, the kids are not only the future, but they're the present.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So that wraps up our edition today of Faith Journeys with Tracy. We'll see you next time with someone else. I don't know who that will be yet, but we'll get that figured out. And if anybody is out there who wants to come and share their story, please let me know, because we want our church and all the folks to know more about how God is at work. So have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.